It's Game 4 of the 2011 Eastern Conference Finals. The
D-Rose.
Miami Heat and their newly formed Big Three are
20
facing
lamb.
off against the NBA's #1 seed Chicago Bulls, led by their young 22-year-old superstar.
D-Rose.
Well, actually, this isn't just any young superstar. This is Derrick Rose, in the midst of one of the most unforgettable seasons of this generation, highlighted by becoming the youngest MVP in the history of the league. And now, he's just 3 wins away from clinching an appearance in the NBA Finals. And entering this Game 4 on the road, down 2-1, he went Super Saiyan. Rose elevated for a monster slam in the first quarter, then cocked back a 2-handed rim rocker late in the second to send a jolt through his team. Miami, however, wasn't fazed by the kid's freakish athleticism. But maybe they should, because this is 2011 Derrick Rose.
Oh my God.
Yes, and it counts over Joel Anthony.
What kind of expectations do you set for yourself individually going into year 3?
Year 3.
It's high. The way I look at it within myself, why not? Why can't I be the MVP of the league? Why can't I be the best player in the league? I don't see why.
Why not? Those were the words spoken by Derrick Rose a month before the 2011 season was set to begin, questioning why he can't be the MVP and the best player in the league.
Why can't he be MVP? But I swear to God, I miss Derrick Rose. I wish he'd won a championship, man. Fuck LeBron. Why can't I be MVP?
The dude clearly had confidence, but I mean, come on. The MVP? Is he crazy? Those were the reactions around that quote. And rightfully so.
Yeah, they was talking
Rose was
crazy.
entering just his 3rd season in the NBA at 22 years old, an age at which no player has ever won the MVP. Plus, the Bulls' record sat at 500 the past 2 years. To believe that he and his team could take such a leap was delusional,
at the time,
but
it
I
was
will
like-
give him the benefit of the doubt. The kid has shown flashes of greatness with his inconceivable athleticism and ability to finish around the rim.
I
In
wanna
fact,
go
he was
higher.
awarded the Rookie of the Year and became an All-Star in just his 2nd season. The signs of a future star were there, but I mean, an MVP at 22?
MVP,
There's no way. The belief that Rose would win the MVP was a little comical. I mean, we weren't even sure if this guy was a top 5 point guard in the NBA. But in just his 2nd game of the season, he shut us up. D-Rose lit the United Center on fire with a career-high 39 points to go with 6 rebounds and 7 assists. He was clearly confident in himself, and it didn't waver at all through the first month of the season. He poured in 24 and 14 on the Knicks, popped off for 22 and 13 against a future MVP. He caught fire for back-to-back 33-point games, scorched the defending champs for 30, blitzed Phoenix for 35, 12 and 7, and then embarrassed the Kings for 37, 7 and 2. Oh, and that 2 stands for 2 broken ankles. The dude snapped Tyreek Evans' ankle so hard that he kept spinning like a Beyblade after he went down. It was disgusting. Rose was flourishing into the superstar Chicago had been craving for years now. Ever since Jordan retired in '98, there weren't many bright spots as a Bulls fan. But now, over a decade later, there was another freak athlete in a Chicago uniform. And it was absolute cinema. D-Rose had elevated his game to such a degree that he was actually being considered as the MVP early in the season. Maybe the kid wasn't so crazy after all. However, people were still skeptical that he'd be able to keep up this play throughout the season. But in his mind, there was no doubt that he was among the NBA's elite. He was like a rocket headed to the top, landing just in time for a masterclass against Houston.
Left hand. Bro, I wanted to beat that nigga. I swear to God, I wanted to beat him going up on me. I knew that nigga was going on.
Lost his dribble, got it back.
From here. For the game.
Big time players make big time plays. 109 at the buzzer.
Rose solidified his
Rose
name in
was
the
like that.
MVP conversation against the Rockets, digging deep into his bag and pulling out 30 points, 7 boards, 11 dimes, 5 steals, and of course, a tough 3 going right at the buzzer to send the game to overtime, where the Bulls got the win. This dude was unreal. The win electrified Chicago as they went 12-2 over their next 14 games, as they launched themselves from 6th to 3rd in the East, headed into the new year, where D Rose hit the gas.
Hit the gas on me.
He killed Philly for 27-9, poured in 36 on the Celtics, dropped 29, 5-7 on Detroit, then cranked up the heat on Miami for 34 points and 8
was going at
assists,
Miami.
including a monster 11-point fourth quarter in a 3-point win.
Look at bro.
Rose was
Look at
a
how he just
monster
dropped to the
11-point
basket.
fourth quarter in a 3-point win.
Bro.
Rose was absolutely scorching the league
That damn
with a
Russ.
play
That damn
style
Rose.
no one had ever seen before. The dude's ability to finish around the rim was a joke. His control in the air and ability to contort his body was inhumane. On top of the fact that his passing was elite, his herky-jerky way of finding lanes to the rim was
Yeah.
unheard of.
I
His
swear.
crossover could seriously be classified as a murder weapon, and we haven't even mentioned his greatest skill. D Rose was a blur in transition.
Yeah,
The
he
dude
ain't
can
stopping
click
that
it
nigga
into another
transition. That
gear
shit over.
unlike anyone I can think of.
not stopping him with
One short
transition.
speed burst and he was gone. It was like a Ferrari amongst minivans.
Oh my
and what
God.
really
Watch
set him
them
apart
ankles.
is that he can also do this.
Catch a body. I wanna go higher.
That's Dang on the left side.
A 6'3" point
Oh
guard
my
that can do
God.
that was unheard of. Rose's nuclear athleticism made him absolutely electrifying night in and night out, as he was now officially stamped as one of the game's premier players.
No, for sure.
In February, it was announced that he'd be an all-star starter for the first time in his career. An unreal
season,
accomplishment for a dude who's in just his 3rd season in the NBA. So, upon hearing the news, D Rose celebrated in a way that only he can.
That #1, boy. Ugh. That
Rose
one.
going in, gets the basket and a foul. Here's Rose battling in. Pretty move by Rose.
They just don't score the fast break points as Rose gets on the inside.
And Rose wending his way in and banks it in over Duncan. Rose. Jefferson closes in on him and Rose hits a big 2. Just inside.
Rose completely picked apart the #1 seeded Spurs with a career-high 42 points,
Yeah, 40?
including 13 in a clutch fourth
He was
quarter
cooking them
to
folks.
seal their 38th win of the season. D Rose was cooking headed into the All-Star break,
Prime.
where he returned laser-focused on that MVP.
Ugh. Why
In his
can't
first
I be-
game back, Rose lit up the Raptors for 32 and 10 dimes. Unfortunately, it wasn't a
Ooh,
loss.
look at him.
A loss that got the Bulls fired up. Over their next 12 games, Chicago was blazing with an 11-1 record, including 8 straight wins headed into a matchup against Indiana, where D Rose went berserk for 42 points. Yet this unreal performance wasn't another loss, pouring fuel onto their fire. The Bulls had an encore, going 11-1 over their next 12, which included 6 30-point games from the young superstar.
Damn.
Chicago had now
Rose was
unexpectedly
cooking
reached
shit.
the 60-win mark on the season, and many had Derrick Rose as their MVP headed down the final stretch. But nothing was guaranteed just yet. LeBron James and Dwight Howard were also having seasons worthy of the award.
Yeah,
Rose had to
LeBron,
remove
26,
any doubt around his
7.
MVP case. And in the 81st game of the season at Madison Square Garden on national television, he did just that.
The next thought he was fouled. There was no call on Loser. They go to the
Good lord. What's wrong with Derrick Rose?
Derrick Rose. Rose puts the speed on against the back pedal. No chance for the Knicks. The game realizes for the Knicks. A bad pass picked off by Rose. Look out. Here's Rose. Derrick Rose trying to show on here at Madison Square Garden.
D Rose beat up on the Knicks for 26 points, but he did most of his damage on the Madison Square Garden rims. He took an elevator to throw down the lob in the first quarter, stuffed in a two-hander in the paint like he was Shaq, and
Yeah,
for
that
his
was crazy.
final act, he soared for an acrobatic reverse slam with his head at the rim. The MVP race was over.
Why can't I
Derrick
be
Rose was
MVP?
named the league's most valuable player at 22 years old, becoming the youngest to ever receive the award. At a time where the NBA was stacked with guys like LeBron, Kobe, Dirk, and Wade, it was a 22-year-old Derrick Rose who literally rose above them all. The man lived up to his word, and the playoffs are going to show us what this kid is truly made of. To everyone's surprise, MVP D Rose became a reality and headed into the postseason with a target on his back. He was about to evolve into playoff D Rose.
Playoff Rose.
In other words, he was out for blood.
No.
What a recovery. Spins inside. Hello.
That spin was nasty.
Spinning. Floater. Yes.
Damn, D Rose.
Noah and Bogut, who don't really need the ball, allowing that guy to do that kind of stuff. Rose.
In
That nigga
game 1
D
against
Rose.
the 8-seeded Indiana Pacers, Rose cooked up a 39-point, 6 rebound, 6 assist, and 3 block masterpiece. And then damn near one-upped himself in game 2 with 36, 8, 7, and 2 steals.
Cooking.
Playoff D Rose was here, which meant this series was over. The Bulls won game 3 to go up 3-0, lost game 4, then closed out the series at home to advance to round 2. And the Avalanche continued against the Hawks with 24, 5, and 10 in game 1, but it came in a loss. So Rose said, hey, I'll do it again, as he poured in 25, 6, 10, and 2
10, that's
blocks
crazy.
to tie the series at 1 headed to Atlanta. With Chicago losing home court advantage, this was a crucial game 3 that can change the entire trajectory of this series. So with high stakes, the MVP came to play, turning the road crowd into his own fans. I'm not even kidding.
Jeff T can't guard.
Did you see the
Jeff T cannot guard.
shot selection in game 2?
Ugh.
Rose all the way home. Rose a floater. Catch and shoot. Derrick Rose again. Rose showing no bandaging on that hand. Getting hurt earlier. For a career playoff high. Bad looks, Mike. They're not getting good looks.
Come here.
Rose, most points he's had in his NBA career. 44 for Rose.
Yeah, 44? He was
The
spanking
Atlanta
shit.
crowd oohed and awed at every move Rose made on his way to a playoff career high 44 points.
That's crazy.
This guy's ability to find lanes and seemingly speed boost into them to score was, I don't even know, I'm speechless.
Nah, he definitely
His career
speed boost
performance gave the
on
Bulls
100.
a 2-1 lead, but a game 4 loss tied the series at 2 headed back to Chicago. And it was D Rose time once again. He showed the Hawks how to fly with a huge 33-point, 10-assist night to go up 3-2, where they closed the series in a blowout win on the road to clinch their ticket to the Eastern Conference Finals, where they'll be facing an absolute behemoth.
The LeBron Heat.
This was a dream matchup headed into the playoffs. The Miami Heat's Big Three, led by LeBron, Wade, and Bosh, against the #1 seed Chicago Bulls in the MVP. It was two titans about to go to war against each other with a trip to the NBA Finals on the line. And in Game 1, D Rose and the Bulls made a statement. The MVP scorched the Heat for 28 points and 6 dimes, blowing the doors off Miami by 21 to take the
That
lead in the
game one.
series. 3 more wins, and they're finals bound. Game 2, however, wasn't so great. Chicago suffered a double-digit loss at home, and then Miami caught fire in Game 3 to take a commanding 2-1 series lead. Now on the verge of a dreadful 3-1 deficit, the MVP had to show up in Game 4.
Show up, Rose.
And he did. Early. D Rose set the tone as he soared through the air for a one-handed jam halfway through the first quarter. Then he did it again late in the second, flying down the lane, drawing the foul, and punching
better
a
move out the way.
two-handed tomahawk
You better move
to
out the
tie
way,
game
Mario
at
Chalmers.
40.
You know what it is.
And this is right about where we left off, right?
From the field, 17 for 39. What a move by Rose.
That was
Yes, and it counts over Joel Anthony.
Oh
That was nasty.
my God.
That was one of the craziest dunks in
6'3"
my life
Derrick
at the
Rose
time.
completely blows up 6'9"
That's
Joel
crazy.
Anthony with a two-handed poster on his head,
That was
silencing the Miami crowd. It's seriously one of the greatest dunks you'll ever see.
That was crazy.
But unfortunately,
Hold on, I gotta
it's
say
one
that
of the greatest dunks you'll ever see. But a two-handed poster on his head, silencing the Miami crowd. It's seriously one of the greatest dunks you'll ever see. But
That was
unfortunately,
crazy.
that'd be the final bright spot for the Bulls. Chicago went on to lose behind a rough
Damn.
8 of 27 shooting performance from Rose to
Damn.
go down 3-1. And back on home soil in Game 5, we saw the same struggles from the MVP, putting up 25 points and 8 assists on just 8 of 29 from the field.
Damn.
It was bad. But by the grace of God, it's a one-possession game with 15 seconds left. A 3 can save their season. Rose scrambles to get the ball, makes his way to the left wing, throws up a 3, but it's blocked by LeBron, and that's it. An
Damn.
unforgettable season ends in heartbreak for the MVP. But one thing's for sure, this isn't the last time we're gonna hear from this kid. Derrick Rose is the future.
that 2011
He carried his
season
team
was
to a deep
nasty.
playoff run and won the MVP at just 22 years old.
Yeah, that was crazy.
2011 was just a stepping stone. The kid has his entire future in front of him.
Yeah.
Oh, Rose came down bad on his left foot. See him
Damn.
holding onto his knee.
Up.
Holding onto his knee and down.
I hate
He
even
was
watching this
flying,
shit,
and
bro.
He came down wrong on the left foot. Now, whether it was an ankle or a knee, I do not know.
Damn, man.
In another life,
Fuck.
this may have been different.
Lead pass. Whoa! Stop it! Stop it! Can't move like that. Stop it! What a goal! Fire! Finds Rose. Rose trying to get open. Fires away. Fire! It's over! The Bulls win at the buzzer! 44% from the field. 17 for 39. What a move by Rose! Yes, and it counts.
Why can't I be the MVP of the
Why
league?
can't I be the MVP
Why
of the
can't I be the
league,
best player in the
man?
league? I don't see why. Why?
Come on, man. 2011 Derrick Rose was probably the best, bro, PG to ever witness in life. I'm telling you right now. Look, man, y'all already know. Do like, comment, subscribe, man. Let me know in the comments what y'all thought about 2011 Derrick Rose and where y'all was at when y'all witnessed his greatness, bro. I know where I was at. I can't remember. I'm still mad about him getting hurt, man. Like, damn. I wish his knees could be like bionic knees. I wish he had mutant Ninja Turtle knees, man.